Coming at you live. This is Rebecca. I'm so happy to offer a noon class on Wednesdays with Roots to Rise in April. Hello, friends. Hey, Stacy. I'm here. So you are probably familiar with the great work that Roots to Rise has been doing for the past couple years. But just for those of you that are unfamiliar, might be newer to the Roots to Rise nonprofit. It's a nonprofit. We bring yoga and mindfulness to spaces throughout the Philadelphia County. So when we're not on quarantine, we're often in libraries and rec centers, and in the summer we're at pools. We also work with Parks on Tap. So every Thursday throughout the Parks on Tap season, there's a 6 p.m. yoga class and some other parks and situations around the city. So maybe take these couple minutes to set your space up. So close the door if you can close the door, keep a pet or block a pet out, whatever you'd like to do. Adjust your lighting so that you feel comfortable, and if you like music, feel free to put music on for your practice. We won't really need any props today. Everything we'll do will be more or less accessible to most of us. But if you do have props, if you wanted a blanket, a sweatshirt, something for underneath your knees, when we do stuff with the knees down, you can. I always like to have water and anything else that you have available to you. Please feel free to bring. And then we'll get started in a few minutes. Welcome to my yoga space. And then just a reminder, this class is free, but Roots to Rise is accepting donations on the website, Roots to Rise. I think it's .org. And then also on Venmo, it's Roots to the number Rise. So we are accepting donations, suggested donation $5, but we're happy to be here to bring these services to you at this time. I feel so far away, but hopefully you can still hear me. And if you're already joined and ready to get started, feel free to come to a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. You can sit cross-legged like how I'm sitting. Maybe sit on something, your sweatshirt, your blanket, whatever you have. This kind of seat isn't comfortable for everybody, so perhaps you want to sit on your shins like this. You can always sit in a different way, your feet in front of you, something like this. Maybe close your eyes. Okay, it's 12 o'clock on the dot. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. You could be doing anything at this noon time. Thank you for tuning into Roots to Rise and for supporting the programming that we're offering to you virtually during this time. As I mentioned, feel free to start in a seat that looks comfortable for you. You won't really need any props. And then just a reminder that you can do or not do anything that I suggest. Hopefully you can hear me, because you're so far away. But if not, I'll be doing the moves with you. So when you've arrived in a seat that you like, press your sits bones down into what you're sitting on and sit up really tall through the spine. See if you can stack your ears above your shoulders above your hips, and then get longer through the torso. Imagine that you're reaching the top of your head towards the ceiling. Eyes can be open or closed, and then relax your shoulders away from the ears. Hands can be on the body, in the lap next to the body, whatever works for you. We'll just sit really tall through the spine, and we'll just notice what's going on in our physical body today. Notice how you feel physically, mentally, and emotionally right here, right now. Notice the energy that you brought with you into whatever space that you have. If you have a room like me, if you have a corner of your closet or your kitchen or something, wherever you are. Notice any sounds that you hear. And then see if you can relax the muscles in your face, the muscles of your jaw. Again, relax your shoulders away from the ears. And we'll begin to bring our awareness to what's happening inside our body physically. So first we'll bring our awareness to our heartbeat. Maybe you can feel it. Maybe you can hear it. Maybe you can't, but either way, it is beating. We are alive today in this moment. And then we'll bring our awareness and our attention to our breath. Perhaps this is easier to identify. And see if you can follow your breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. So the breath and the heartbeat come naturally to us, but unlike the heartbeat, we can directly control the breath. So in this space on our mats, I invite you to move with a smooth, steady, intentional breath. The yoga breath is in through the nose and out through the nose with your lips together, but you can also breathe in a different way. So however you want to breathe, we'll just take 3 breaths together, and then we'll start moving. So let's exhale completely. And take a slow, steady breath in. And a big breath out. 2 more just like this big breath in. And steady breath out. 1 more just like this full breath in. And big breath out. And this time we'll take a really big breath in. And a big sigh out the mouth. Leave your eyes open if they were closed. We'll stay seated for a few more moments. So if you need to readjust or if you're cross-legged, maybe switch the cross of your legs. Well, remember that everything is a choice. You can do or not do anything that I'm suggesting for you, but remember that the breath is the most important part. So as long as we're breathing smooth, steady, and intentionally, that's our goal, and to unplug for this time together from everything else that's going on. So we'll sit really tall like we were. We'll inhale, reach the arms all the way up, maybe look up. And as we exhale, gather our hands together at heart center. So we're connecting our movement with our breath here. 2 more just like this. Inhale, reach the arms up, lengthen through the fingertips. And then exhale, hands come to heart. 1 more just like this. Inhale, stretch the arms up, look high. Exhale, hands come to heart center. We'll do something different this time. Inhale, reach the arms up, look high. And as you exhale, twist to the right. And release your hands down. So maybe the right hand comes behind you on the floor, left hand in front of you on the floor or your body. Press your sits bones into the floor, keep lifting tall through the spine, and rotate from the upper back to the right. Whatever feels comfortable for you, nothing should be painful. We're here to unplug and to breathe together. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. as you next inhale, reach the arms all the way up, face the top of the mat, and exhale, hands come to heart. Second side, inhale, reach the arms up, look high. And as you exhale, rotate the torso in the opposite direction. Whichever way you did it, just go. Press your sits bones into the floor, lift up tall. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, look to the left. Relax your shoulders, relax your face. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. One more. As we next inhale, stretch the arms all the way up, look to the hands, and exhale, hands come to heart. And then we'll bring the hands down by the sides. We'll make our way into tabletop position. So you decide which way is the front, which way is the back. And we'll bring our hands underneath our shoulders. Our knees are underneath our hips. So there's a long line of energy from the wrist to the shoulder, from the knee to the hip, and then from the hip to the shoulder. Spread your fingers wide. Press the tops of your feet into the earth. We'll take some cow cats to move our spine in these 2 different directions. Again, moving with our breath, breathing with me or breathing on your own. Inhale, arch the back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the tail, lift the gaze, cow pose. And as we exhale, round the upper back, look towards your knees, cat pose. 2 more just like this. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And exhale, round. 1 more, inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. We'll come back to a neutral tabletop position. We'll make our way into child's pose. You can tuck the toes if you like. You can keep your knees close together and press your hips towards your heels. This is what it looks like. You could also bring the knees wide like the mat. Toes come towards one another, and then the same thing. Hips to heels, stretch arms long to the top of the mat. Whichever way you've chosen to be, see if you can relax your face, your shoulders, your jaw. Perhaps close your eyes, and just feel how you feel after moving a little bit with your breath. We'll just be here for 1 more breath in. 1 more breath out. Press your hands into the floor and lift all the way back up. We're back in tabletop position. Your wrists are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. We'll take a side stretch to move our spine in the last 2 directions that it moves. Tuck the right toes if they're not already tucked, and extend the right leg long behind you. It's going to be a little bit of an adventure. Spin the left shin behind you, the right heel behind you, and then the right arm reaches up. So we're in this side plank variation. The back foot is facing the side of the mat. Stretch through the right fingertips. Maybe reach the right arm up and over. If you're like me and you have a wall, you can press into the wall for a big side of the body stretch on the right side. We'll be here for 1 more big breath in. 1 more big breath out. And then we'll see if we can lift the right arm back up, and then use the strength you have within you to lift all the way up. Adjust whatever you need to adjust so that you can feel supported. The outer edge of your right foot is pressing into the ground. If your right hip has come for the journey, it's not invited to the party, press it down. Stretch up. And then side stretch in the opposite direction. Right hand comes to the leg. Reach up through the left, fingertips stay, or side stretch closer to the leg. Breathe smooth and steady. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. One more. Bring the arms all the way up. Left hand comes back to the earth. We're back in our side plank. And then we'll make our way back to tabletop, whatever that looks like for you. Take a big breath in table. And then exhale, press back to child's pose. Again, knees can be close, knees can be wide, toes can be tucked or untucked. We'll just take a moment here to be, to breathe, and to reconnect with your intention for showing up today. Big breath in. Big breath out. Make your way back up into tabletop position. I'm going to spin around so that you can see me. And we'll do the same stuff on the second side. So this side, the left toes tuck, the left leg extends long. We'll make our way into our side plank. So the right hand, the right knee, and the outer edge of the left foot are on the ground. Whatever you need to do so that you feel supported with your right hand, your right knee, the outer edge of your left foot presses into the earth. Stretch up through the left fingertips. Stay like this, or maybe stretch the arm long towards the other end of the mat. This is a big side body stretch through the left side. Notice, feel, breathe, smile. Stretch the left arm back up. Use the strength you have within you to lift yourself all the way up. And then side stretch in the opposite direction. Left hand comes to the left leg, right arm reaches up. Press your right knee into the floor and stretch up through the right side of the body. Stay here, side stretch a little bit closer. Whatever you feel is appropriate for you today. We'll be here for one more breath in. One more breath out. Just like the first side, stretch the arms long in both directions. Again, release the right hand now to the earth. We're back in our side plank. We'll come back to tabletop position. And then from table again, child's pose. So knees can be close or wide. Toes touch, hips to heels, stretch the arms long. Feel, breathe. Next inhale comes back up to tabletop position. And then because Andre did this at the 7:15 class this morning, we'll do it here. Press your wrists into the earth. Tuck your toes. Press your toes into the earth. Stay here. Or maybe you can hover. Play with hovering your knees above the ground. Round the upper back a little bit like cat. Push the floor away. Shoulders away from the ears. Stay for a big breath in. A big breath out. And then slowly lift all the way up into downward facing dog. You might need to adjust the stance between your hands and your feet. Hands are still shoulder width or a little bit wider apart. Feet can be hips width apart. Press your fingers into the floor as you lift your sits bones high. Press the inner edges of your heels to the ground. If this is not for you today, you can still do the pose in a similar fashion by bringing the knees back to the ground and stretching the arms long towards the top of the mat. To stretch through the back, this is called puppy pose. Whichever shape you're in, we'll just be here for a big breath in. A steady breath out. And then we'll slowly make our way to the top of the mat. We'll meet in a standing forward fold. So your feet can be touching or hips width apart. Bend your knees if you're like me with the tight hamstrings, and we'll stretch the top of the head towards the floor. You can be still or you can sway a little bit from side to side. You can also grab opposite elbows and sway the torso from side to side. Release your fingers to the ground. Press your feet into the earth, and as you inhale, take a really big breath in, stretch up. Just like we did when we were seated, as you exhale, hands come to heart center. So we'll take one of my favorite versions of a sun salutation, the half sun salutation. We'll practice this together with our breath. Feet can be together or hips width apart. We'll start in mountain. Feet press down tall through the spine. Fingers reach to the floor. And just like when we were seated, can you stack your ears above your shoulders? Shoulders above your hips, hips above your heels. Broad across the collarbone, contained in the abdomen, so we're not cow, we're not cat, we're somewhere in the center. Chin is parallel to the earth. This is mountain pose. This is the beginning of all of the shapes. Can you take one more smooth, steady breath in and out with me? So again, we'll flow with the breath, half sun salutations. Inhale, reach the arms high, look high. As you exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, relax the head. Inhale, lift to a long spine, which is where you place your hands to your shins or your thighs. Squeeze the shoulder blades together strong in the abdomen and the upper back. This is the inhale. And as you exhale, fold back to the floor, bend the knees, relax the head. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. So that was 1. We'll do 3 with our breath. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to a long spine, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Twice more. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. 1 more like this. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift to a long spine. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. You can keep your hands at your heart. You can reach your arms long by your sides. We'll meet back in mountain pose. Again, feet together or a little bit apart. Relax your toes into the ground as you stand up tall, proud, and strong. Stretch your fingers to the earth as you reach the top of your head to the ceiling. Just like in the beginning, check in. Feel how you're feeling in this moment. Notice how you're showing up for yourself today. Maybe now you can feel the heartbeat. My heart always beats faster after the half sun salutations. And then we'll breathe together. 1 big breath in. 1 big breath out. If you're not already at the top of your mat, we'll come to the top of the mat in mountain pose. Hands will come to hips. We'll press the left foot into the ground and we'll bend the right knee so that the heel is lifted. Get super rooted into the floor with your left foot. Focus your eyes on something that's not moving. And when you're ready, we'll take a giant step back with the right foot. You can stay here, or you can slowly release the back knee to the earth. Hands can stay at hips, heart center. Maybe they reach up. So either you're here, or you're here, or you're doing your own thing, which is also an option always. If your back knee is up, super strong through the back thigh. And then strong through the abdomen. Press out through the back knee or heel. If your back knee is down, press the front foot into the earth and hug your knee and your back knee and your front heel together for strength. And then you decide what you do with the arms. This is a balanced posture. Can you stay here for 2 more breaths? We'll make our way to warrior 2. If the back knee is down, you want to bring it up, you can. Spin the back heel down, stretch the arms long. So warrior 2, the front knee is bent, the left side. The back leg, your right leg is strong. Shoulders above hips, long through the fingertips. You can also do this with the back knee down if you prefer this. Whatever your warrior 2 looks like today. If your back leg is lifted, press through the front shin. Lengthen through your fingertips, relax your shoulders. You can look towards me or over your left middle finger. We'll be here for 2 breaths. We'll stay here and we'll move our arms. Inhale, reverse warrior, left arm reaches up. Exhale, side angle, elbow to thigh, back arm reaches up or up and over. 2 more like this. Inhale, reach back, or reverse warrior. And exhale, side angle. 1 more like this. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. We'll come back to warrior 2. And we'll straighten through the front leg. Hands will come to hips. And then all toes will point to the side. I like to take my feet in a little bit, but you decide if your feet are wide or close together. So your feet are parallel. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Broad across the collarbone. Standing back bend. Slight bend in the knees. Arch your back like cow. Lift your heart up. This is the inhale. And as you exhale from your waist, fold forward. You can stop halfway. Hands can stay here, come to legs, or you can bring your hands closer to the floor. Maybe they touch the floor. This is a stretch for the legs. This is also similar to our brief downward facing dog and our child's pose. They're forward fold variations. From here, shake the head perhaps. Bend the knees a little bit more perhaps. And then press your heels into the floor and use the strength you have within you to lift up. I like to bring my hands to my hips and then come halfway and then lift all the way up. If you're like me and you get lightheaded from stuff like this, just take a moment. You can always take a moment. Child's pose is there for you. Drinking water pose is there for you. And we'll come back to the top of the mat together. The left toes face forward. Look towards the top of the mat. Take 1 or several steps to the top of the mat. Mountain pose. Shake out anything you need to shake out. And then we'll do side 2. So for better or for worse, we know where we're going, but there's only 2 sides. Hands come to hips. Press down into the right foot. And bend through the left knee. When you're ready, take a giant step back with the left leg, crescent warrior. Again, you decide. Do you want to stay up? Is this where you want to be on this side? Or do you want to bring the knee to the floor? And maybe this is where you bring a pad or something underneath, a sweatshirt, a blanket, a pillow, a pet. So if you're down here, hug the back knee and the front heel together for support. If you're up here, press the back thigh back and press out through the back heel and then face your torso forward. Hands, arms can be wherever. Focus your gaze. Continue to breathe smooth and steady. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. Warrior 2. This can be your warrior 2. Your front foot is forward. Your back foot is facing the side. Your front knee is bent. Your back leg is strong. This can also be your warrior 2. The back knee's on the ground. Again, the padding might be helpful, depending on where you want to go. What does your warrior 2 look like? Stretch your arms long. Super powerful shape. Can you find ease for 2 more breaths? Just like side 1. Inhale, reverse warrior. So your front arm, your right arm reaches up, side stretch. And as you exhale, pass through warrior 2, elbow to thigh. Back arm can reach up or up and over. Side angle. 2 more with breath. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, side angle. One more, inhale, reach back. Exhale, side angle. We'll come back to warrior two. Just like side one, hands to hips, straighten through the front leg. Unlike side one, toes are going to point out. So before we did toes in and we folded forward, this time we're going to do toes out. So the knees point in the same direction as the toes as we bend the knees. Just like warrior two, we're bending the knees in the same direction as the toes. Torso is upright. Notice if you're doing a cow or a cat and see if you can be in the center, strong and long through the sides of the body. Hands can be here, here, or anywhere. Maybe you want to add the arms, cactus the arms. So the elbows are 90 degrees. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, shoulders away from the ears. Press your shins out towards your toes. This is goddess pose. We all have a little bit of feminine and a little bit of masculine energy. We're tapping into our goddess for a minute. Stay, or we can move with our breath. If you're moving, the dance is that we inhale, straighten everything long, and as you exhale, squeeze shoulder blades and press the knees forward. Two more, inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, bend and press. One more, inhale, straighten. And exhale, goddess. We'll come back to our star pose for a moment as a transition, hands to hips. Back foot, your left foot faces the side. Your right foot, the front foot, faces forward. Look to the top of the mat. One or many steps to the top of the mat, mountain pose. Shake out anything you need to shake out. Maybe take a drink of water, and then we'll come back for chair pose. Another strong shape to strengthen everything from the waist down, the ankles, the feet, the legs, the glutes. So two options. You decide if your feet are hips width apart, like we were doing in mountain, or if you prefer to bring your feet together. You can decide. We'll do it twice. I like the feet hips width apart. This is better for me most of the time. From mountain, because this is how all shapes start. Press your feet into the ground, relax through the toes, stand up tall, proud, and strong. And then we'll bring the hands to the hips. When you're ready, bend your knees a little bit or a lot of it. And then peek down and see that you can see your toes. So if you're something like this, I can't see my toes, pull up and press your seat back. Engage your glutes, and then strong through the abdomen like we've been talking about, so not cow, not cat, but long and strong. Hands can stay at hips, heart center, maybe they reach up. This is chair pose. Relax your shoulders away from your ears and spin your pinkies forward and your thumbs back. How low can you go? This is how low I can go. I feel it in my quads already. Notice when times are challenging, if this is challenging for you, how you're showing up for yourself. Can you stay for one more big breath in? One more big breath out. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Tap it out if you need to tap it out. So we'll do two more. We'll just stay down for a breath. Feel free to stay longer, shorter, move with me or on your own. Mountain pose, tall, proud, and strong. This time, inhale, reach the arms high, and exhale, sit into your chair. Stay for a breath in. Stay for a breath out. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more just like this. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, sit into your chair. Stay for a breath in. Stay for a breath out. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Shake it out if you need to shake it out. We'll do one more little flow, one more little balance, then we'll come to the earth. Back at the top of the mat, mountain pose. Press your feet into the floor. Stand up tall, proud, and strong. Inhale, reach the arms high. And exhale, sit into your chair. Use your glutes. Stay for a big breath in. And this time as you exhale, fold forward. Let it go. Inhale, lift to your long spine like we did earlier. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to the floor. Just the right foot steps back. The right knee comes to the earth. So maybe you did this version the first time, but we'll all do it this time. Hands to thigh. Stack ears above shoulders, shoulders above hips, hips above back knee. And then a right angle here as well. Hands can be wherever. You can tuck or untuck the back toes. Hug your back knee and your right heel together for support. Stretch up. Big breath in. Big breath out. Maybe you want to take the side stretch. The left wrist grabs the right, or the left hand grabs the right wrist, Stretch up, stay or side stretch towards the front leg. You could go either way, but I find it more stabilizing to bend towards the front leg. Stretch all the way up. And then we'll bring the hands to the floor. And we'll set up for our version of Warrior Two. The back shin spins behind us. And open back up. Maybe you were here the last time, maybe not. Maybe pad the back knee. Notice how this feels similar or different. And now we'll take our side angle. Left elbow to left thigh. Right hand can come to right hip. Back of head, maybe it reaches up. So you're pushing your elbow into your thigh. As you rotate your heart open, notice how this feels the same or different. Come back to this version of Warrior Two. And then we'll meet in tabletop facing the top of the mat. So now we're in tabletop. We'll get strong through the arms. We'll wiggle the knees back a little bit so that the hips are forward on the mat of your knees. Shoulders are still above the wrists. We can do a couple tricep push-ups if you want. Strong through the back, elbows hugging to the body, and then the elbows point behind us. So we'll do 3. The inhale brings you down a little bit, and then the exhale pushes you back. 2 more if you like this. Inhale down, exhale up. 1 more inhale down, exhale up, and then we'll press back to child's pose. Knees on the ground, hips to heels, stretch your arms long. Shapes like forward folds like this, child's pose, are opportunities to check in. See how you're doing. We don't have control over everything, but we do have control over how we show up for ourselves and each other in this moment. So how are you showing up for yourself? And then notice that, and remember these are just shapes. Who cares? We're breathing, we're moving, and we're doing this together even though we're separated by technology. We're also brought together by technology. We'll take a breath in. Let it go. We'll come back to our tabletop position. And then we'll make our way back to a forward fold, however that makes sense for you to get there. Set your feet up. Bend your knees. Sweep your arms high. Chair pose. We've been here before. What's going on in your mind when I say chair pose? Use your glutes, strong through the abdomen, long through the fingertips. Can you stay for 1 more big breath in? And as you exhale, fold to the floor. Inhale, lift to a long spine. And then exhale, hands to the floor. Just the left foot steps back. The left knee comes to the ground. Again, you can pad the back knee. Maybe you were in this version already. You decide if you tuck or untuck your back toes. Right knee is bent. Hands can be hips, heart center. Maybe they reach up. You choose your own adventure. We'll breathe together for 2 more breaths. We'll make our way into our warrior 2 with the back knee down. I like to tuck my back toes and spin my shin behind me. And I have to do a little bit of maneuvering. So we're here. Shoulders above hips, hips above back knee, right angle in the front leg, arms reach long. Notice how this feels the same or different than the first time you did this shape on this side. We'll be here for 2 breaths. And we'll take our side angle. So now the right elbow to the right thigh. Press your elbow into your thigh to rotate your torso to the ceiling. And then the left hand can be at the hip, behind the head, maybe reached up. So we're getting really broad across the collarbone. We'll be here for a breath. Lift back up into your warrior 2. We'll make our way back to tabletop. You know what's coming. So we're in our tabletop with the wrists underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. And then we'll wiggle the knees back some. And see if there can be one long line of energy from the knees to the shoulders. Strong through the abdomen, not cow, not cat. Elbows hug into your body. This is plank pose, but we're on our knees. We'll do 3 push-ups, tricep push-ups. You decide if you stay, you do 1, you do 2, you do 100. That's up to you. I'm doing 3. Move with your breath. Be kind to yourself. We're getting stronger together, whatever it is that you're doing. So if you're moving with me, we'll inhale a little bit down and exhale, push back up. 2 more. Inhale a little bit down. Exhale, push back up. 1 more time. Inhale a little bit down. Exhale, push back up. Inhale up here. And then exhale, child's pose. Again, your knees can be close, your knees can be wide as you reach towards the top of the mat. Maybe your forehead touches something. Maybe you place props between your head and the floor. And we'll be here for 3 breaths. Make your way back to tabletop position. And then we'll make our way back to the top of the mat, whatever that looks like for you. When you arrive, relax your head, your neck, your shoulders. Maybe bend the knees a little bit. If you're like me with the tight hamstrings, you can stay here or grab opposite elbows and sway the torso from side to side. Maybe you shake the head independently of the body. Maybe you join me for 3 lip buzzes. Release your fingers to the floor. Last time, chair pose, bend the knees, sweep the arms high. Can you get a little bit lower? Do you feel stronger? Can you show up for yourself in a strong but kind way for this last big breath in? Big breath out. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Shake out what you need to shake out. Dance party. And then we'll take one more standing pose for a balance. We'll take tree pose. So if you're close to a wall or you want some support by some furniture or a prop, please come close to the wall or the prop. And we'll start a mountain pose where everything starts. Press your feet down into the ground evenly. And just like we did a little bit ago, we'll bend the right knee, strong through the left leg. And then this time the knee will point to the side. We'll take tree pose, which looks like this. Okay? So you decide if you bring your foot close to your ankle, like me, you bring your foot into your calf, like so, or maybe you bring your foot high onto your thigh. So above or below the knee, these are the options. Knee is pointing to the side, just like warrior two, just like our goddess pose. Now we're standing on just the one leg. Strong through the left foot. Make sure that this kind of thing isn't happening, that we're really strong and supported. You decide if your hands come to hips, heart center, maybe reach them up. In this challenge, can you find ease? Oh no, somebody's calling. If you're feeling stable, maybe look up, maybe close your eyes. If you're feeling wiggly and wobbly, that's where you grow. That's where the things happen. At the edge of our comfort zone, that's where all the magic is. And when you're ready, we'll come out of this. Do your little dance. We'll come to the other side. So we'll start a mountain, feet into the ground, stand up tall, proud and strong. Now the right leg is stable. Hold on to your prop. And then we'll bend through the left knee. Knee comes to the side. And then gently connect your foot and your leg. Again, options, kickstand, calf, thigh. Knee is pointing out. This is an inner thigh, outer hip stretch. This is a balance pose. There's a lot going on. You decide what you do with your arms. It's up to you. And then again, really strong through that standing leg. Long and strong through the spine. Close the eyes, look up. And also, if you need to, tap the foot to the floor. We'll be here for another breath. Release what you've got going on. We'll shake this out. Let go of anything that has happened so far. And we'll take standing cow-cats for a few rounds. You can have your hands by your sides, or if you want, you can interlace your fingers and press the palms forward and up. This will be our cow. Press the feet into the ground so your body is in mountain as you reach up. Arch the upper back, maybe look up. This is cow, this is the inhale. And as we exhale, round through the upper back, press the palms away, look towards your toes, cat. Two more like this with me or on your own. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round. One more inhale, lift up. And exhale, round. Inhale, lift up, release the fingers. And then we'll come down to the floor to a seat. Again, you can sit on your blanket, your prop, if you want some extra padding under there. And we'll bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide. So we're in butterfly pose. Again, a hip stretch. And then from here, you can sit up really tall. Hands can be on your body or next to your body if this feels supportive for you. Or you can tip the torso forward. Maybe this is where you want to be. When I tip forward, I feel like a little bit more of an outer hip kind of stretch. which feels good for me today. So it's all about figuring out what you need, exploring how your body is today. And then if I may, that we can be grateful for the body that we have, the abilities that we have during this strange time. So if you're tipped forward, we'll lift all the way back up. We'll keep the right leg bent and we'll extend the left leg long. So this is very similar to the tree pose we were just in, if your legs are facing forward. Invitation to give yourself a little bit more space and to bring the left foot wider to the left and then bring the sole of the right foot into the left leg. So it's a little bit wider, whichever way you're facing on your mat. The left leg is strong. The left toes are flexing back to your own face. Sit up tall. You can stay here, or we can make this into a side stretch. So the left fingers will reach down the left leg or along the floor. And then similar to our side angle, we'll rotate the heart up. The right hand can be at the hip, the back of the head, maybe you reach it long. So we're reaching towards the extended leg and rotating the heart. We'll be here for a breath. Let it go. Lift all the way back up. And then if you can, come into mermaid pose. So the right leg stays where it is. The shin is facing forward. The knee is bent. And your left leg swings behind you. Or to the side. So the left shin is facing the side. The right shin is facing forward. You can stay here. We can rotate a little bit to the right to get into this part of the body. We'll stay here for a breath. We'll come back to face forward. And as my one teacher, Darlene, shout out Darlene, says, yoga magic, we're going to switch to the other side. So we'll bring the hands behind us. Place your feet onto the ground. Knees lift up. And then like magic, we're in mermaid facing the other way. Did you make it? Yes, no, maybe so. So now the left shin is forward. The right shin is facing the side. This is mermaid pose. Stay like this. Oh no. So you can stay in your mermaid pose facing this way, or you can rotate a little bit to the left. If you're rotating to the left, stay for a breath. And face back to the top of the mat. There we go. And then we'll spin the right shin from behind us all the way forward. And then off to the side. So your right leg is long, flex through the right foot. You can stay lifted, or like you might have done on the first side, we can turn this into a side stretch as well. So the right hand walks down the right leg, or along the right leg. Rotate your heart open to the ceiling. Left hand can be at left hip, left hand can be behind the head, left hand can be lifted. Wherever you want to be, rotate, lift, lengthen, and then relax your shoulders. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. One more. Slowly lift up. Hands come behind you. Feet come onto the floor. Knees are lifted. Adjust so that you're on your mat. You can come to the ground in one move, or we can come a little bit slower to the earth to get strong through the abdomen. Whatever you'd like to do. If you're coming the slower way, press your feet into the ground and bring your hands to the back of the thighs. Sit up tall And see if you can think about the top of your head and your sits bones being one long line. Shoulders squeeze together and then tip the torso back. Reach the arms long. This is boat pose. Stay here. Relax your face. And then slowly for a count of 5, we'll come all the way to the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're all on the earth. And then from here, we'll come into a bridge pose. Feet onto the floor. Hips width apart. Feet underneath the knees. We'll start by reaching the arms long by the sides and snuggle the shoulder blades together underneath you. Press your feet into the floor. And as you exhale, we'll peel our pelvis away from the ground. Lift up. Press your hands, your arms, the back of your head, your shoulders, and your feet into the ground. This lengthens through the hip flexors and is a stretch for the front of the body. Use your glutes here just like we did in chair pose. Stay for 2 more breaths if you like. Slowly release the hips to the earth. And bring your feet a little bit wider, maybe knock knees together or sway knees from side to side. You can take one more variation of bridge pose like we just did. For your second back bend, you can also bring your blanket, your sweatshirt, your pillow underneath you for a supported bridge. Something like this. Or we can move with our breath for 3 times doing bridge pose. So I'll just show you what I mean. What we'll do is we'll lift up and sweep the arms over behind us. And as we exhale, we'll bring everything back down. So if you want to do that with me, we'll do that 3 times. Otherwise, choose your own adventure as usual. Press your feet into the ground. And as you exhale, peel your pelvis away, reach your arms up and over. And as you inhale, come all the way back down. Synchronizing our movement with our breath. 2 more. Inhale, stretch up and back. And exhale, hips down, arms down. 1 more if you like this. Inhale, back. And exhale, come down. If you have supported bridge, you can place your prop off from underneath you. Release your body to the earth. Stretch the legs long. If you have space, unlike me, stretch arms long. Reach long in all different directions. So I don't know where you last left off, but I was continuing on. I did some side twists. So whatever happened, we'll just let that go because we cannot control what happened in the past. We cannot control what will happen in the future. But what we can control is right here, right now, and how we show up for ourselves and for each other. So like I was saying, we were going for a while. I don't know what happened to the live stream, and now we're back. So whatever you did or didn't do today in the practice, forget about it because it's in the past. Set yourself up for a comfortable, supported, intentional rest. You can be lying on the earth in traditional corpse pose if that feels supportive for you. Arms long, legs long. You can use any props to support you, underneath you, around you, etc. You can also come to lie on your side or your front, or come to sit, maybe sit against the wall. So if you're just joining us, I don't know what happened with my technology, but we'll just do a little bit of a breath meditation and then some rest. So this is the most important part, and you're back. So decide how you want to set up for yourself in a way that feels supportive and comfortable, whatever comfortable means to you. Invitation to close the eyes. When we close the eyes, we block out one of our senses, and we can maybe get into the others a little bit more. Relax your physical shape onto the support around you and the support of all of us virtually. Soften the muscles in your forehead and the muscles around your eyes. Relax your shoulders and other places that you might be tensing. See if you can soften. Hopefully by now we've returned to our natural breath. And if you'd like to just be for a few moments, you can. If your mind begins to wander, you can bring your attention back to your breath or to your heartbeat, perhaps. Or if you'd like to join me, we can take a few slow, smooth breaths together to calm the body, to prepare the body for our rest. So if you're joining me, we'll exhale completely. Take a slow, steady breath in for the count of 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top. 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom. 3, 2, 1. 2 more. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top. 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom. 3, 2, 1. One more. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top. 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom. 3, 2, 1. Big breath in. Long breath out. And here's your intentional rest. It's 101 if you need to go somewhere, be somewhere, do something. Otherwise, I promise to come and get you in 2 minutes. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anything for anybody. This is for you. This time is for you. If you're still with me, begin to come back to your physical shape. Come back to this moment and become aware of your body. Notice any sounds that you hear. Feel the temperature of the room that you're in. And invite movement into fingers and toes, wiggle, crack, roll ankles and wrists. If you like, you can stretch arms long overhead as you press out through the feet in the opposite direction if you are lying down and this feels good for you today. And take your time. We'll meet how we started in a supportive seat of your choosing. You can sit cross-legged or a different variation. And when you arrive, lift proud through the torso and soften the shoulders away from the ears. If you like, we can gather hands together in front of our heart in prayer pose. And if your eyes are still closed, maybe you want to keep them that way, or perhaps you want to close your eyes for this last final moment together. In this transition from our practice back to this beautiful Wednesday, the first day in April, maybe we can all be silently grateful right here, right now, as gratitude brings more gratitude and we have lots to be grateful for. And remember that we don't have control over everything, but we do have control over our actions, how we act and react to challenges that show up. And for sure, this is a time of challenge. If you're joining me, we can seal our time together with one final communal breath. Let's exhale together. Take a big breath in. Thank you so much for joining me virtually. Namaste, friends. I wish you well. I'll be here Wednesdays, noon, and I'll work out whatever these kinks were from today, so apologies. Again, Roots to Rise is a wonderful organization. We're accepting donations if you feel so inclined. Venmo is Roots, the number 2 Rise, and also on the website and also on Facebook. My name is Rebecca. You can find me on Instagram as RunnerGirl83, RUNRGRL83. And I hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and that this is a beautiful start to the month of April. I wish you safety, hand sanitizer, and loved ones near and far.